"Come," said the wind to the leaves one day, "come o'er the meadows and we will play. Put on your dresses, scarlet and gold, for summer is gone and the days grow cold." So words from a children's song of the 1880s. Margot will light the chalice here in the sanctuary. Those of you at home are invited to light your own chalice now. As we gather this hour as people of faith with joys and concerns, gifts and needs, we light this beacon of hope as a sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of the life we share together. Before we sing this first hymn, let me remind our remote participants to leave yourselves muted. However, we'd like you and whoever's with you to sing as big and loud as you like. Make it a joyous experience in here as well. Please stand in body or spirit and sing the opening hymn, "Morning Has Broken," number 38.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world. New fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where her feet pass. Sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, even soft flame. Praise with elation, praise every morning, for recreation of the new day.
Thank you, Jan and Mary. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist community of Cambria. We are glad you have joined us today. Our UUCC sanctuary sits on the land that the Salinan and Chumash indigenous peoples historically inhabited. We honor their contribution to this region and give thanks for the opportunity to gather in faith on their unceded territory. Let us take a few moments to respect their legacy and protect their history as we occupy this sacred space. As Unitarian Universalists, we celebrate religious diversity and welcome all who journey in search of faith and spirituality. The UUCC is a lay-led congregation run by the democratic process. We invite speakers from different religious traditions and spiritual or scientific backgrounds, as well as community leaders, to speak at our pulpit. We encourage presentations covering a variety of topics and areas of interest that connect with the UU 7 principles and 6 values. Say them with me if you want. Justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity.
With love at the moon.
Today's service centers around the third principle. We affirm and promote acceptance of one another and encourage spiritual growth in our congregations. The fourth principle, we affirm and promote a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. And the seventh principle, we affirm and promote respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. My name is Nancy Tolan, and I am your worship associate for this morning's service. Hi. I would like to extend a special welcome to today's guests and visitors. We are glad you have joined us. I don't see any, but if there's somebody out there who wants to raise their hand and introduce themselves or a guest, go right ahead. If you are not on the mailing list, please visit the UUCC website at uuccambria.org so that we can keep you informed about all of our activities. Members and friends, please check out what's happening. The e-blast sent to you every week by Lori Napoli. This is a great way to keep you up to date on our latest news. If you wish to see this or any of the past Zoom services, the recordings can be found on the UUCC website and on Facebook. So again, good morning and welcome to everyone. The affirmation is both a recognition of the nature of this community as well as a promise to which we aspire. Let us now recite the UUCC affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth and freedom, and to help one another. We set aside this time for brief announcements that will be of interest to our community and friends. Please be succinct and when announcing updating events or updates. Upcoming events or updates. Okay, if you have an announcement, please raise your hand. When Randy or I call on you, come up to the podium, unmute yourself, then speak. Anybody? Yes, Rebecca?
Good morning. I'm Rebecca Hendricks, and I'm on the nominating committee, along with Art Gillingham and Don Howell, ensuring that we have positions filled for the upcoming year at UUCC. We have 7 open positions for 2025. The position of secretary, which is a 3-year term. We have 3 seats for members at large, all 1-year terms, and 3 seats for the nominating committee, all 1-year terms. Anyone interested in filling a position needs to be a member of 1 year in UUCC. This morning, we are announcing these 7 positions to call for volunteers who might be in the position and are interested in serving another term, or anyone who is interested in volunteering for an open position. After this morning, our committee will be contacting the members who are in the position to see if they might want to continue to serve, and other members who might want to choose a position for the coming year or years. If you are interested in learning more, please talk to or contact Dawn, Art, or me, and we would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Good morning. I'm Randy Swalby, the manager, the chair of the worship committee, and we are having a meeting tomorrow on Zoom at 4:30. So all of you members, please tune in. And if you're interested in joining our meeting, you're always welcome. Just contact me and I'll send you the link.
I'm Margot, also known as Margaret Biggs, professionally, and this year for the first time I'm going to do the county-wide open studio art tour. I don't know if y'all have ever done it, but I'm the only one in Cambria, so I'm like, good. Yeah, last year they had several, but yeah. So anyway, it's the 12th and 13th and the 19th and 20th. I'm doing both weekends. in my home from 10 to 5. So I might get really quiet. Come say hello. And thank you.
That's for this. So these are on this, so that's why I don't touch it.
Also on October 12th will be the Cambria Neighbors Club craft fair at the lodge. I'll be there selling my potted up little succulents, and all the money will go to our scholarship fund. So come by, buy a succulent, and help our scholarship fund.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. October 5, we're having our rally and awareness walk for offshore floating wind. October 5, noon, Vets Hall. Please come on by and you join us in the lot there, and we'll have a quick rally and a quick walk. So at noon, October 5th.
Okay, Randy, is there anyone in Zoom land?
Okay, no hands here. Back to you, Nancy.
Okay. Next week, we will join UU congregations across the country engaging in the UU Climate Justice Revival. The service will feature highlights of the vast array of materials sent to us. Don't miss this compelling extravaganza. Next week, this congregation's weekly collection will be donated to the Beaver Brigade in support of the UU Climate Justice Revival. Joys and concerns is a time for sharing personal celebrations, sorrows, reflections, or gratitudes. This is a time for community building. Please. The collective flames of these candles embody all the joys and concerns which may have gone unspoken today, but are also deeply felt in this community. The first reading is the Autumn Prayer, adapted from the UUA website. Goddess of the autumn, help us to live with the grace of falling leaves, the enthusiasm of flaming aspens, with the serenity of old trees whose roots reach deep into the earth. Goddess of the autumn, help us to know that living and dying are one, that life is precious and beautiful and limited, that nothing good is ever lost. Goddess of the autumn, help us to see in the ways of nature a way for ourselves. Blessed be. Please stand in body or spirit and sing Chant for the Seasons, number 73.
Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. Sweet the angling sun, sweet upon this earth the smell of bloom is rising. Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. Glorious the trees, glorious the sight of rust leaves falling, falling. Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. Sweet the angling sun, sweet upon the air, the smell of bloom is rising. Summertime has turned the star wheel, autumn is upon us. Glorious the trees, glorious the sight of rust leaves
The second reading is an excerpt from History.com. Equinox comes from the Latin word equi, which means equal, and nox, or night. On the equinox, day and night are of nearly equal length across the planet. As the Earth orbits the sun, it is tilted at a fixed angle. For half the year, the North Pole is tilted slightly toward the sun, bringing longer days to the northern hemisphere, while the South Pole is tipped slightly away from the sun, bringing fewer hours of sunlight to the southern hemisphere. Then, as the Earth continues to move around the sun at its fixed angle, the North Pole is tilted slightly away from the sun. The equinox marks the point of the year where the transition occurs. And on the equinox, the part of Earth closest to the sun is the equator, rather than the places north or south. In the northern hemisphere, the September equinox marks the first day of fall. The reverse is true in the southern hemisphere, where the September equinox signals the first day of spring. Today's talk is titled Becoming Deciduous, to be delivered by Susan Landau. Susan moved to California in 2012 and became a member of this church, or sanctuary, whatever, community, UUCC. She was an active member of the congregation, serving on the board as secretary and later as treasurer. She was also the UUCC administrator, served on the worship committee and the operations committee. Susan moved to Port Townsend, Washington in October 2021, where she became a member of Quimper UU Fellowship. She serves at QUUF as a member of the Program Council, is the chair of the Spirit Council, and was on the committee to plan the 2024 Women's Retreat, and serves as a worship associate. Next month, Susan will be offering a 3-week crone offering group to discuss and honor the maiden, mother, and crone phases of women's lives. Susan.
Good morning. Welcome to the fall equinox. And this year, the fall equinox is today. It happened this morning in the wee hours. Fall equinox is the time that marks the transition from summer to autumn, as Nancy just said, and it is the moment when day and night are the same length. After today, the nights will start to become longer and the days are going to start getting shorter. In modern pagan religions, can you all hear me okay? Okay. In modern pagan religions, the fall equinox is also known as Mabon. While the fall equinox was celebrated for centuries by ancient cultures, it wasn't until the 1970s when the name Mabon was also assigned to the fall equinox. This was part of a systematic reviving of the modern pagan wheel of the year. The name comes from Welsh mythology and means son of the mother. This renaming of the fall equinox connects Mabon to a mythological tale about a divine young man whose story is about liberation and triumph over darkness. It is a reflection of the equinox's balance of light and dark. For pagans, Mabon is a time to pay respects to the older deities and the spirit of vegetation that fades and will be reborn in the spring. One of the things I love living in Washington State, and in particular Port Townsend, which is such a cool little town, is having 4 seasons, real live seasons. I was born and raised in Southern California, and we sort of had seasons. For me, fall reminds me of my father, who grew up in Ohio and had an affinity for the changing colors of fall. When they lived in Redding, California, he planted a few liquid amber trees in front of their mobile home. And every year, he would ooh and ah and take me outside to look at these beautiful trees. He would rave about their leaves, and as the leaves turned, a glorious gold and yellow color. They were absolutely stunning. When I moved from Cambria up to Port Townsend in October of 2021, it was a 2-day drive, 19 hours just to get there with a U-Haul behind me. And I got as far as Discovery Bay, which is just outside of Port Townsend. The morning of the 3rd day, I drove from Discovery Bay to Port Townsend, which is about a 20-minute drive. I took Highway 101, which is a 2-lane road at that point, and turned onto State Route 20, which is another 2-lane road. And I found myself in a spectacular tunnel of color that just took my breath away. Trees with orange, red, yellow, and gold leaves on both sides of the road and arching slightly towards each other overhead. I sighed a deep sigh that said, I've arrived, I'm home. And I felt the presence of my dad right there in the front seat with me. I could feel how much, and I knew how much he would have loved my living in this place, because it would give him the excuse he needed to come visit and have the same experience of autumn that he loved so much and that I got to have now. All that being said, of the immense joy of experiencing the fall colors for me, there is also a deeper spiritual meaning to fall. Transition and change, harvest and abundance, release and letting go, and reflection and gratitude are the profound symbols of fall. We can follow these symbols of nature in the fall, and we can apply them to our own lives. The symbology of transition and change is exactly what you see as nature is preparing for winter. The color of the leaves turn as they prepare to drop from the trees. So what are the things that you could drop from your lives? What no longer serves you? And are you willing to let go? This is a time to pause and reflect, just like nature, on the journey of this past year and spend some time noticing where you've traveled. What have you gained? What have you lost? What have you learned? What would you like to forget? And what are you ready, really, really ready to release? What needs to stay with you a while longer? What new path lies ahead of you that you need to prepare for? Where are you going? Fall is the season of abundance in nature. It is when the harvest is gathered and stored away for the winter. For us humans, that means that the fruits of our labor have finally come to fruition. We have worked hard throughout the year, and now it is time to stop and notice all the blessings in our lives. It's time to feel grateful for our abundance and all that we have, all that we've created. Good health, a roof over our heads, plentiful friends and family who love us, and so much more. Fall is the time to appreciate all that we have achieved and all that life offers us. Think of the beautiful leaves on the trees, releasing their long-held clutch and falling gently to the ground, creating a carpet of splendor on the street. This is an important lesson for humankind to observe. What no longer serves you? Can you release not just the things in your life, but can you release the attachment to those things? What needs to be released in order to support your spiritual growth? If you can release attachment, you will create a new space for new things, and this will invite positive energy into your life. As we all know, nature abhors a vacuum, so the positivity will rush right in to fill that newly created space. Living in Cambria, as you all do, it is so easy to connect with nature and observe the nuances. Observe how she begins to slow down and follow her lead. Fall is the time to reflect on this past year, to pause, to slow down, and to appreciate the beauty that surrounds you, as well as the beauty and richness of your life. The days will be getting shorter as the nights grow longer. So as you start to slow down, feel gratitude for the many blessings that you have already received. In the Lakota medicine wheel, fall is represented by the west. It is the time of the bear, Mudjekeewis, and the bear will soon be preparing for a long winter sleep. Following nature's rhythm, as I try to, this is the time for deep introspection and dreaming. And speaking of introspection and dreaming, we're about to take a short journey together. So get comfortable in your chair. Put both feet on the floor if you can. If not, imagine both feet on the floor. Close your eyes if you are willing, and take 3 deep breaths. Imagine a white light above your head, and it flows down in through the crown of your head, into your heart. Let this white light fill you with peace and calm. Feel it throughout your body. Take that white light and slowly send it all the way down through your body, into your legs, and out through the bottoms of your feet. This light goes down into the ground, into the earth, and all the way down to the center. Imagine that there is a hook or a bar or something that you can attach that light to, and attach it firmly. So this light now comes down through the top of your head, through your heart, all the way through you, out the bottoms of your feet, and down into the center of the earth. Take a deep breath, and as you release it, if you are comfortable, make a loud sigh as you feel yourself connected. Feel your shoulders relax. You didn't know they were attached to your ears, did you? Bring them down. And as you look around, you find yourself standing on a path. You're in a forest, and you're surrounded by beautifully colored trees, beautiful leaves of red, gold, orange, and yellow. They're in the trees, they're on the ground, they're everywhere. The sun is shining, the weather is absolutely perfect. Look around you and drink in the colorful beauty. Not too far away, you can hear a stream making its way through the forest. The path that you're standing on leads you right to a clearing where you can find the stream. So you continue walking that way. When you arrive at the stream, you can lay on the blanket that you brought with you, or you can sit on the comfortable bench that is already there, or if you prefer and need a chair, one magically appears. Take a seat or lie down. Listen to the wind, a breeze rustling through the leaves, and feel the sun. Not too hot, just enough to warm your body. This is your time to remember. Think back to last year at this time. It was the end of September 2023. The scarecrows were starting to come out. School had just started, and the school buses had reappeared on the streets after being parked all summer long. Halloween was fast approaching. There was a chill in the night air, although the days were still beautiful. Where were you? What events were you planning for Halloween? Did you have candy at your house? And what were you thinking about, or were you thinking about the year to come? So take a few minutes and pull up this past year. From the beginning of last fall up through each month. So now it's November of 23. What's happening with your family? Are you planning Thanksgiving? Or Indigenous Peoples' Day? And then what was happening in December? Who were you buying gifts for? If you were buying gifts for anyone? Were you traveling to visit family? And then January. And February was Valentine's Day. New grandchildren, birthdays. And in March, were you starting to plan your garden? In April? May? June, summertime, picnics, July at the park. August and back to September. What did you invite in this past year? How did you change your life? Who did you invite in last year? What did you let go of? What are you thankful for this past year? Think of all the experiences that you had. What are you grateful for? As you remember this past year, think about what no longer serves you. What are you carrying around with you that just weighs you down? Are there habits you need to let go of? And as we age, it's so much easier to release those things that don't serve us, those things that hold you back from being who you really are, who you fully are, being in your heart. So think about what you're ready to release so that you can be you. And when you have that in your mind's eye, can you commit to releasing that thing or those things? Now think about the year ahead. What do you intend to create or call into your life next year? We each create our own experiences. So what would you like to manifest for yourself? A year from now, in 2025, as the scarecrows are going up in Cambria, what will your life look like? And how will you feel about your life? Commit these things to memory. Remember them. These 3 questions. What are you thankful for? What are you ready to release? And what do you intend to create? Hold these thoughts in your mind. And then take them and place them in your hand and hold them firmly. And then take them and place them in your heart, where you can call them up at any time. Your gratitude, what you're ready to release, and what you intend to create. Now that you have them, it's time to leave the stream. So you can stand up and brush yourself off and locate the path. So step onto the path. In kind of a lazy way, walk down the path through the forest and back to the entrance where you stepped in. You can feel that triad glowing in your heart. Relax your shoulders again. I'm going to leave you grounded if you would like to be. If not, you can let go of whatever you've attached your white light to. Although it's nice to walk around grounded. Take another deep breath. And when you feel ready, open your eyes and come back to the church and find yourself sitting in your seat. Are we all back? If you can weave the symbols of fall into your life at this time of year, you can enrich your spiritual journey and deepen your connection with Gaia, also known as the Mother. This is the time of year to embark on a sacred journey of self-discovery and spiritual renewal. This is how we celebrate the fall equinox.
Thank you.
This morning's offering will now be given and received. Please remember that we are a self-sustaining congregation and provide all financial resources for our many ministries. We recognize the spiritual value of giving and invite you to participate. If you are viewing this service remotely, please use one of the methods shown on the screen. Thank you. Thank you, Jan, that was lovely. And our thanks for all the gifts given and received for the work of this community. Please stand now in body or spirit and sing the closing hymn, Lady of the Season's Laughter, number 51.
Lady of the season's laughter, in the summer's warmth be near. When the winter follows after, teach our spirits not to fear. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning year. Sister of the evening starlight, in the falling shadows stay here among us till the far light of tomorrow's dawning gray. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning day. Mother of the generations, in whose love all life is worth, everlasting celebration, bringing her safe to birth. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning earth. Goddess of all time's progression, stand with us when we engage, hands and hearts and end oppression, writing history's fairer page. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning age.
Thank you. As we prepare to extinguish the chalice, let us recite the valediction. We extinguish the flame of this chalice, and we know that the light, truth, and love, and the warmth of this community go with us until we meet again. Please extinguish your chalice at home now. Now let's form a circle and join hands. Susan will give the closing words.
A little bit bigger than yesterday.
Yeah. We are here. We are held. We are holy. We are home. Here in the heart of this holy moment, held in the light of the sun, held in the hands of our sisters and brothers, here in the heart of the one. So revel in your new colors. And as my father would say, make like a tree and leaf. Blessed be, and go shining.